Speak something. Hello. Just turn the screen. Now speak. Hello. Hello.
हेलो 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 Good afternoon, everyone. I request all the faculty to instruct the students to join in the YouTube link which is shared. It will start very soon. Thank you. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. V. Murali Mohan. I'm an associate professor in Department of CSE. And as a part of a skill week um, for the subject of MERN stack web development, we have a full week of MERN stack web development for a project which is already started. In the last few days, Mr. Balaji has convincingly explained everything from the scratch to the most typical part, which is called as uh, session management or of role-based authentication also in the last 3 classes. Like he is connected with the database and he is connected with CRUD operations. I hope you have worked out with the same flow, which sir has explained clearly, and the setup and the database also. So in the coming these 2 sessions as part of a skill week, I want to tell you some of other aspects also. So let's understand what is MERN. You already know. If you ask me, MERN means MongoDB, Express, React, and Node. If you see, sir has already covered almost everything. Then what is the point of being with these 2 days? Is it different? So what is we trying to see is a different, right? So what we will try to do it, I will write down in a notepad so that the agenda can be clearly you can understand. So first today date wise, this is the 1st February 2024. So what agenda point is what we are going to write. So what we are going to do. The first point is all about the redesigning or some of the design concepts of material UI, and also with restructuring of application. So this is the first one, which is very important for if you want to develop in a complex applications, we have to do it. This is the first step. Second point is working with MongoDB and working with a concept called as multer. So what is the use of multer? MULTER. This is also one package which is useful for our topic, how a bulk data can be uploaded. So that is that we can see them. So next third point is all about how we will working with third party apps like mail system. So working with mail system using node mailer. So one of the package called as node mailer. So this is also very important topic. After that, we will see the major part is what is authentication, authorization, what is authentication and authorization. What is authentication, what is authorization, and how we can differentiate. So that is also we need to work it out. So the next one. So next point, the most important topic, which is Mr. Balaji already introduced, but he just say a word called as JWT, which is very powerful. So JWT, what is JWT and its purpose and how we can incorporate them? We will see them in action. So this is looks like very simple, but so many complex structures we need to understand, and we will develop accordingly all those concepts which are mentioned here. So let me come back with the what exactly the output. First we will see the output, then only you can understand what we can do. So go to the prerequisites. I request, yeah, notepad. I will write down what are the important prerequisites. So the first one, we consider these are advanced features. So the first one is obviously MongoDB. Second one is we required postman, and we required Gmail authentication system for two-step verification. Gmail two-step verification. I request everyone to log in with your Gmail so that we can implement this two-step verification also. Then third one, fourth one. So the fourth one is all about working with jwt.io. jwt.io. So I request everyone to have an idea about JWT. Don't worry, I will clearly explain with the diagrams also. We'll see them in action. So let's move on and move to the VS Code. So in VS Code, first I will show VS Code. I will try to showcase the structure of the things. So just I will collapse everything. And if you see carefully, there is only two folders. One is a client folder and one is server folder. That's it. Nothing else, because we want to deploy tomorrow session. So we need to have two folders. One is client folder, one is server folder. So client folder consists all the codes which are relevant to the client things, like visually appearing things, and server, it consisting complex structure. If you see, I made it more organized. I mean, made it so complicated. Whatever sir has designed is everything in a one file called as index.js. So we restructure them. That's the first point which I already written in the notepad. So restructuring them is a very important thing. So we'll see them, and also some of the file formats also we'll see them in action. Let's run the first both of them and see what is happening. So first go to the terminal and create a new terminal. So we are in a skill week MSWD project. So we need to move to first server. Every time, remember, we need to start the server, cd space server, and then we will run by using npm run dev. So if you clearly see run dev, then if it is says connection established, and you can see that is established even with the database also. Very, very important. I want to tell you this time, this session is not stored your MongoDB in your local system. I mean, not in a, with your local host 120 or whatever 2701. We'll store them in a cloud. We'll work with the cloud, and the data is also mentioned in the cloud. Why? Because if you want to deploy, then you cannot run with the local host, right? So that's the point. So create a one more terminal. That means server is running. Very good. So we'll create a one more terminal, and we will navigate to the client, cd space client. Right. So how to start the client? We already know npm start. So that will open obviously the outcome, which is quite different from what we have seen. I just add some of the things. So don't check it out for designing skills. This session is all about not only design, but also having some other capabilities also. So let's see how it looks like from the earlier. I just followed his own code, but making my own thing, because KL placement zone. So obviously you need to stick with the same design, right? So it's looking in the same zone. So how it looks like different, I want to tell you with a different application what we are doing today. So first, if you see jobs, there is nothing I kept, because today we will practice on the how to do it with the jobs. And if you click on the view students, obviously you can see all the students which are stored and retrieved. These are all students which are retrieved from the database, and how they are stored is not by like an individual. Let me come back after that. Because suppose in our KL University, imagine we have something around 20,000 students are there. You cannot enter like a manually. Like entry, there is a one button is there, menu item entry. I think you have seen this one from the sir yesterday's thing, but imagine you cannot enter like a 20,000 students are in the same zone. So it takes time. So better we will use a one more approach called as upload. If you click on the upload students, then you can upload here. If you click and choose file, example, I'm just, we will do it. So I have a one folder in a desktop. I'm not doing it now. So obviously we will see them. On a skill week, on a desktop, there is a folder called a skill week. In that there is a one thing called as testing 3. So don't think otherwise. It will be like we will upload the same things. We will create one more thing and we will upload and it will be replicated. So like that we have designed this session. So we will design with the data, and we will design with output, and we also restructure them, and that's the first few points. And then if you see carefully, suppose after selecting you need to send an email that you have been selected, or you need to give your feedback. That's why there is one more menu called as send mail. So if you click on a send mail, this will run. So we will see how to set up that one. We will see them in action. It will also send an email. Then suppose you have to incorporate the OTP verification. Then we have something like a verify through the OTP. Then obviously you can give some of the email IDs and it will send to the emails, and we can get it verified by using that OTP. So these are the points we will need to cover in this particular session. So hope you can understand what we are doing. So much design, so much database, and so much security and third-party verification. If you see the agenda, it will be the same, right? I hope everyone is ready. And if you are ready, I will continue from the where sir has already been left. So, but only the thing is, these involves a lot of scope for writing. So obviously we cannot take a entire semester work into these 4 hours. So what I want to tell you is, I will guide you what kind of a code you need to incorporate. Suppose why I mentioned 3 different routes or 3 different menus. You can incorporate anywhere. So these are like a plug and play. So whenever you require, you can add them. That's why keep it separated, right? So let's move on to the VS Code and what are the important things of restructuring. So first, open the notepad and first we'll write what are the important things for restructure. So first, restructuring with new, restructuring with file organization, with file or folder organization, or project file organization. That's the correct word, project file organization. So for this, I want to ask you a simple question. We have one more course called as PFSD in your previous semester, where you have all are arranged using Django. Like I just write some of the files you can understand. One is called as urls.py. Don't think that in MSWD we are teaching Python, but we will I will write down how similar it is. urls.py. Next one, we are views.py, models.py, uh, forms.py, tests.py. We have something like PyCatchy, like manage.py. You have several files, right? So for the same thing, we have to use, and very important file which you never ever forget is like settings.py. So keep it an asterisk for that because it is very, very important for settings.py. So let me write parallelly how it looks like. So first one, if you see urls.py or whatever the settings.py. So how it is related to MSWD. So if you see from the beginning, I want to tell you package.json is equivalent to settings.py. So beside settings.py, you have to remember this one. Package.json is nothing but settings.py. What we have written in a settings.py? If you remember, we will write all the URLs, URIs, secret keys, all the installed apps, and we also see in the email configuration, database configuration, everything we have written. Something similar to that is package.json. And comma, you would also write package.json comma .env. Very, very important for today's session is this one only. So what is the importance of this one? We will see that .env. So the next one is you have views.py. It is like views. Folder should be created. Views, beside views, you just write down views folder. That's it. And suppose for URLs, we have routes folder. So routes is a one thing. And if you see something routes also, there is a models. There is a folder called as models. So don't go by the names. Models is models. Models.py, we have a models folder is there. And the most important controllers, there is something like views.py we have written or something. Then we have something called as controllers, or you just write down controllers and middlewares for the remaining two. Yeah, controllers, comma middlewares. These are similar to very, very important. So obviously, don't think that you are learning a different full stack, not at all. So you are following the same old structure. Only the thing is you are having a different implementation. That's it. Right. So shall we start with the first thing and the most important file? One more thing, .env. There is a one more file called as .gitignore. .gitignore. This is very, very important. So I request everyone to create these files to understand. I will pause for a 1 minute for my screen because of I don't want to showcase my connection strings in my .env file. So open .env file. I'll share once it is ready in a .env. Uh, copy. I'll copy everything. Copy that. Right. So why we need to do it from see, if you see carefully, what we are going to see is a very important thing now. So what is .env is very, very important. Whatever the secret codes are there, that will be reflected. Yeah, that will be reflected. That will be reflected in your coding. Suppose you need to connect with some other database, but you don't know what is their database connection. So you need to change. Yesterday, sir has used in index.js, and you also used like 127 dot whatever local host with your Atlas you configured. But imagine it is repeated in a 10 times, then you need to change in a 10 areas, not at all. So what is .env is, it consisting all the secret kind of a things. Example, I will highlight one after other. So one is I'm connecting with SMTP Gmail. So I already said that I'm not there. So you can use Outlook also. Similarly, you can mention your username, like what email. I just given an example of email, and there is a something like a secret key required, third party key, that also you need to mention in as a password. And suppose this, whatever you are seeing as the last one as MongoDB URI or database URI, it's a very, very important. You need not to connect with your local Atlas anymore. Suppose you want to deploy, then again you need to change, right? So no need of changing anything. Now you can separate them, kept them in a one place. What is the file name? Is .env. So I request everyone to practice these kind of a thing. So I will do it again when we are about to execute the next time. But for a time being, you just keep it this structure, like port numbers, like a dependency, whether you are deployment time, we call this hosting time. We will use a different approach, right? So at that time, and we need not change anything. So this is a very, very important thing. I hope I'm very clear about what is .env. .env is all about making secret things like in your settings.py. That should be kept. If you open the notepad, what I have written is the same thing. .env is very similar to settings.py. Clear? And package.json. The most important thing, next one, because we'll move to the Visual Studio Code again. And I want everyone to see this file. If it is not created, you need to create. That is in both server and client, you need to create. By client, it is already having git ignore. But in server also, you need to create one file called as .git ignore. See carefully, what I kept here is a very, very important. Some people thought that it is that important, very important. Suppose you are uploading tomorrow, we need to deploy, right? So to deploy, we need to stop some of the files which will take a lot of space. Node modules is nothing, but it will take around 800 MB, or sometimes it is GB also. So that's why we should stop uploading in our GitHubs or Git repositories or in our lab project labs. So that's why we should kept all those files which are need not to be there for a public. Like I already said, my secret key, my connection string, my usernames, and my dependencies, you should not kept public. Then I kept in a .env, then I store them. So these are the good practices of restructuring your project. So what is the purpose is, you just I will just write in a one notepad. So what is .env? .env consisting all secret keys, connection strings, and deployment dependency tools, which are not meant for public, which are not meant to share with the public. Right. So those will be kept under .env. And the next one, What is .git ignore? You already know .git ignore is a file to not to what you call push the modules or files, not to push the files and modules into our version control system like Git or something other thing, other version control system. Right. Now move on to the next very important VS Code. VS Code wise, there are few more important points I want to tell you in the server side. Later I will move to the client side. If you see at the project structure of only server, so I just hide everything in the client side. I want to keep it only for client side, sorry, server side. So select one of the important point called as config public. Public is there, and there is a config is file is there. There is something like routes folder is there, and if you see views is there, you see something like a models is there. You see all are organized. Previously we will keep it and all in a one place or somewhere like in a Flask. If you remember Flask also, everything kept in a one file like app.py. That won't work if you are dealing with a complex projects. Whatever full stack applications are also for complex application, then we need to separate them. So what we need to keep it such a folders, we are calling them as a very important folders. Can you, I will write down in a notepad and I will tell you what we need to kept inside. So first one, the folders required at server side. Folders are directories required for server side. So don't worry, these codes are very typical, are very normal, but only the thing is I'm restructuring them. Don't think that it is a different coding, not at all. Whatever you learn, now you need to organize, that's it, right? The first one is public folder. Public folder consists images, ESS, which required for server side display. So don't think that public CSS also we can do it. I will show you in a bit after this, right? The next thing is we can create something called config. The most important folder is called as config. The name itself tells configuration of connections, or permissions. So don't worry, I will show the code also. So our permissions required at server side. So suppose why this is important, I will tell you after executing the codes, then you will get to know. The next one is the most important thing, views. Views folder or views structure consisting of HTML files at to be displayed at server side. Because I already said, or you may aware of API. So APIs should have some face. So for that we use views. This is consisting only HTML pages. The most important thing is the next one, models. This folder consists all collections or models or tables to be created for for the application. So whatever the application requires, those applications can be created their models inside the server side by using this one. And the most important thing, uploads. You know, some of the applications require uploads, suppose attachments, like we also done testing. Let me show you what exactly my uploads, then you can understand. Just open VS Code, and in uploads folder, if you see expand, then there is a 3 CSV files are there. What these 3 CSV files? Don't worry, just open my output. I think it won't run now. If you click on view data, because the view data is fetched from all the content from those three CSV files. So these three CSV files consisting all the data. That CSV file is where they are stored, not at your client side. Where they are now? At your server side. So whatever you upload from the front end will be stored in a separate folder at server side at uploads. That's it. The next folder, I think we covered everything, and and very important, we missed out routes. The most important two more folder structures are there, but I am not mentioned here. Routes, all API related routes can be kept under a folder called routes. So these are called as decentralization, or we can easily categorize them. And next one, the most important one, is middleware. Most important thing, middlewares. So what are the middlewares? You already know. So what are the middlewares? Means there are three types of middlewares are there. Let me write down. There are three types of middlewares are there. So first one is built-in, explicit, third party. Don't worry, in our project, I mentioned all those three. We will work it out with them very soon. So this is also very important. Now get back to the very important point, VS Code. We will move to the VS Code and let's see what we have written for everything. But before that, what are the packages we are required? That is very important. So go to the package.json. I request everyone to keep it. That's it for folder structure. So let me go to the notepad again, one minute, and I will clearly tell you that these are the folder structures need to be mentioned. One is .env, git ignore. Then we have to use package.json. What are the things inside each folder should consisting? It is very important. Why we keep a folders? Because organized. If you keep all those things in index.js, it will be hell. So better keep them separate. Right. Now write down the important packages for server side. For advanced topics, packages required for advanced features. I request everyone to install. I will take a 2 or minutes and to showcase the versions also. The first one which is required is Mongoose. I hope you already installed for your database. Next one is Multer, MULTER. What is the purpose? I will explain. And the next one is Node Mailer, NODEMAILER. Right. Obviously, you require CORS or cross origin request resource sharing. Right. Next one. The most important thing is JSON Web Token. JSON, one word, no spaces, because packages all are on a one single node. And the most important, after Multer, you just give an enter, Multer, write CSV to JSON, CSV to JSON, one word, no spaces, nothing. So these are the important JSON Web Token. We need to use it. Then I request everyone to install, and very important, you need to install .env. Before Mongoose, I'll write down again. Before Mongoose, you should install one more package that is required for .env file. Again, I want to tell you, without .env package, you cannot work with .env file. I'll tell you with the example also I already shown. So I request everyone to install these packages again. So .env, and I will open up my package.json of server side so that you can understand in a better way. So dependencies, dev dependencies. I'll freeze for 1 minute so that you can have an idea. Pause. Yeah. So I hope we have covered. You have installed all the packages at your server side. Please keep it in mind that this package.json is at server side. Do not be confused. The same thing appears for your client side also. Done. So I request everyone to install these packages. First, what we will try to achieve is I want to upload the jobs or things for company side. So there is a one folder, and let me come back with a one more thing. I want to explain at your client side also, which is very, very interesting thing. So can you move to the client side? So we will move to the client side, and inside components, SRC, and in components, I just select navigation bar. I know last time sir has explained with the reducers, right? So reducers and redux, all the concepts, store and all. But I find I myself is that reducers are that much tough or very, it requires a lot of time. And I will tell you, redux is also nowadays having an automated thing. There will no need of writing the code also. So I in that is one way to do it, but I bit changed in a different manner. So where I will not write anything, but it will work. automatically. How? We'll see them in action very, very soon. So if you see, there is a pages. One collection is there. There we have highlighted them. So pages like what jobs, and if you see on the front end, these are all same, right? Instead of jobs, I want to change it to companies. So just change the jobs. C should be uppercase because all components should be companies. COMPANIES, right? Now if you refresh, no need of a refresh, just open the browser and see whether it is reflected. Right, done. So, but in no need of writing all those reducers, all those redux functions or nothing. I want to tell you what I done. So in Material UI, there is a one thing called as link, LINK. This package is very, very powerful, where you can link the components with your menu items. No need of writing reducers and all those things. You just connect the link with what component. How to do it? We'll see them in action. Just scroll down. There is a one concept called as button. Just scroll in your previous code. I'm taking from the same code only. I just made some changes here and there. Then button. In buttons, the design, after that, you can highlight what I done. So I request everyone to try this code also. Button link will be there. But menu item, see in the menu item, and inside menu item, there is a link will be there. Menu item. Menu item. Where pages are mapped. I think menu item of link will be there. Typography, menu item. Inside, if you map through them, see carefully, I'm not written anything, but slash, just highlight that code only for menu item and link with that particular thing. So link will be given to only the things which are slash and automatically converting to a lowercase, because in path it should be like a lowercase. Yeah. So we need to write this kind of a pattern for whatever comes, that page will be automatically linked to particular comp. No need of writing reducers or reducer. I'm saying it is not right. I'm saying it is an easy way. So this is the easy way, not even looking for anything. So I request everyone to do this kind of a code. I will pass for a 1 minute. It is already there. Link is the one component you need to install, and you should mention slash with a pattern matching. You remember regular expressions, right? So that kind of a page automatically mapped to a one component, but we are not created a component yet. So we will create a component and we will map to that particular thing very, very fast. So we'll do it in a very easy way. So in components, I want to create new one. So right click on components and create a new file. Name is what? Companies, because we are connecting with the same name, COMPANIES.js. Right. So to create a new one, we have already installed a package called as ES7. So just type RAFCE and hit enter. Automatically it will create. So what is RAFCE? It is like what? React arrow functions, components with an exit export at the end. So this is the concept. So don't worry at all. So I just want to create for a one component for that particular thing. Before that, so I need not enter all the values for the same what we called as companies. Suppose I do have a company with a company name. So let me write what fields we can keep it for a company so that it will be displayed in the output. So model, you just write down model to be model with fields to be displayed under companies. Right. Companies component. So I want to make it very, very clear how it looks like. So a company should have ID, because so don't worry, it is more or less I will making the same thing like a student. So you don't know how I written for a student, but I will tell you how to write for this company with the same effort. Company ID. Next one is company name, C name, or you can write CO underscore name, company name, or anything, but better to keep it a one word, no spaces, right? Company name and type of company, like whether it is which kind of a type. So the next one is jobs offered, openings, job openings, one word, no spaces, job openings count, something like a 10, 15 or something. So package, suppose package, like what, how much pay package, better write pay package, that's it. And company URL. So I will make it more complicated. Company URL. That's it. So we want to create this data for a 5 companies. I'm not doing for a 10. So I'll create a one CSV file now, and with 5 things, and these values will be stored in our model, which is not created yet in our server side, automatically be stored and displayed automatically by using upload. So how we will create those files, very, very soon we will see it. Next one, how to work with the upload file. So if you see upload students, I think we have met upload students, right? So now if we will change to upload, we will just copy paste the same thing. Don't worry, I'll explain the code, but we'll make it upload, only upload file, or something like we kept upload in components, what we kept for upload. So I will write upload C. So go to the notepad and we will create a new component. Don't worry, we'll see it. Upload C. So we will create a C for companies. Upload C. U should be uppercase because we need to create a upload a component. And this should be appeared on the screen also. So better write upload company, one word, upload company, companies, one word, no spaces. So this should be created, this should be appeared. So get back to the navigation bar and add one more nav bar and add one more pages. In pages, add one more file called as, after upload students, you write upload company. One word only, no spaces, because we need to map, right? So upload companies. So why I said this one, if you click on a companies, then whatever uploaded in a companies has to be displayed with the same effort like what view students. So we'll see that one also, right? Before that, so how to create a student table, which is collection, which is already created, we will create the same thing. So for first, we need to create the structure. Structure, you just write down server side, create server side, a model, called companies. C should be uppercase. Companies.js, companies.js, consisting above fields. What are the fields we require? Like I already said, these should be displayed. So we will, this field should be consist inside that server side. After that, when we click on upload, then we need to create a one more CSV file, and then we upload and submit. These CSV data should be dumped into that collection and rendered by using clicking on a company's component. This is whole structure. So what we will do, I'll write the flow first. So first step, create model, Second step, create routes in index.js. Next one, create component logic for companies upload companies.js, logic for upload companies.js, and write logic for companies.js to display the company's details. This is the flow, right? And very important, in between them, upload file, enter, create a CSV file with companies fields similar to companies.js collection, That's it. That's it. So this is the same steps we will follow. I'll wait for a 1 minute to know what we are going to do. In just 10 minutes, I will explain, and 3:30 we have break. So at 3:30 we will take a break, and I will meanwhile explain everything. By 3:40, I hope you will be ready with all those codes. But don't worry, I will tell you the flow, what we need to do it in a 1 minute, right? So get back to this work. What is the first duty? Go to server. So I will move to the Visual Studio, and I will hide everything because you don't get confused. So move to one of the folder called as models. Inside, we need to we need to see first what is happening in the student.js. First, you can see student.js. Then you can easily understand what we can do it for the companies. So what are the things? Instead of student schema, you need to write what? Company schema. Instead of ID, write a company ID. Similar, all are strings, no need of worry. Everything is string. So how many fields required? That number of keys and values should be created. So I hope I am clear. Nothing, don't use any kind of a relation. I don't want to make you trouble also. So for today, you just create the similar structure for the same. So what are the fields? Can you open the notepad and see what we are for fields for student? So sorry, companies, company ID, company name, job, and these things. If you required, we'll keep it all those things as a string one, all strings, no worries. This is the first. Go to the student table. I mean, student collection. Don't make me wrong. So this table is a different story. This is a collection is a different story. This is a different DBMS. So if I said table, don't be confused that again table, it is a collection. So I request everyone to see for a 1 minute to see what is the structure. So we required ID should be unique, required, and it should be unique, and name, it can be string, and something mobile number, I made it for a student, right? So similarly, you can do it for the same thing, right? This is to be exported. Last line is very, very important. So highlight those two lines are very, very important because these two tables has to be, I mean, first it has to be make it as a model and then exported to the PIP. So I request everyone to go through the codes. After a while, we will share the codes and you can understand. That's the reason we will use it. Now move on to, we'll create a one more thing. First, I'll make it a structure, right? So create a new file inside models. So right click and VS Code, go to the VS Code and create one more file. What is the file name? Companies, C should be uppercase, companies dot JS, nothing else. Right. You just copy paste the same thing and later we will work it out. Within a break, we will change them, or you need also just we will also do it now also. So instead of student schema, we'll write a company schema and whatever the fields that we will do it. Right. So the next thing, the most important after creating the fields, we need to create one more thing called a CSV file. How to create a CSV file is very important. Now I request everyone to create CSV file. So it is a continuous process for learning. So I don't want to make it you to do it again and again. See perfectly what is the steps to be followed. Even after watching the videos, you should be able to understand the flow first rather than course, right? Go to first no, desktop. I'm about to create a one more, yeah, inside my skill week folder, right? I'm right click it and create a new MS Excel file first. Don't be confused, I will tell you. Open that one and I request everyone to do the same thing and same field should be there. So very, very careful, right? CID, all uppercase. I will use all uppercase so that no confusion. CID, one word. Next to field, I mean next to cell, CNAME, one word, no spaces, all uppercase. Uh, Third one is what we have this and job description, job role, one word, job role, right? Next one, open jobs, one word, no spaces, open jobs, all uppercases, one word only. Next, what is the URL? Company URL, CURL, and pay package also, right? So before URL, you write what pay, PAY, and the last word is CURL, right? I'll repeat again, one after the other. Can you see the first one? CID means company ID. CNAME means company name. Next one is what? Job role or job description, and the pay which is applied for, and how many open for. Open for means how many are open, and the last one is CURL means company URL. Right. Can you fill any 5 names? Let me write company ID C1. Acha. It should be string. Then we have to use it or number. So we'll make it all strings. So C1, C uppercase 1, C2, C3, C4, C5. How many companies I said? C1 to C2. Name. One is Infosys. Second one TCS. Third one is Capgemini. CAPGM. Next one is Adobe and JP Morgan. So how many companies are there? 5. Done. So the next one. So why I made it a company ID is also string. So because C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, right? So 5 companies names are also. Next, move on to the next one, description. So a type, company type or something. I will explain. First one, job role is like what? Developer. Example, developer. Next one, tester. Third one is uh, market analysis. Next one, we called as a manager, and the last one is digital marketing. So I made it 5 roles, right? So digital marketing, developer, like tester, like this. You can use any job roles. Next one is pay. So like 5L, 10L, you randomly give a all strings because we don't want to display all zeros in our cards, right? So 5L LPA. So better write 5 LPA, 10 LPA, 15 LPA, 16 LPA, all uppercase. Then it looks good. Otherwise, anything is okay after displaying. Next, number of job opens. So write 5, 12, 7, 8, 9. Like how many jobs are open? Next one. What is the next one? Company URL. We'll make it www.infosys.com. Same www dot any short names, cg.com or any names, or you can copy paste later. I just made it in like a simple one. CG, JP, Adobe, like www dot is a common. So I think I all meant for it. Right. So now the most important thing, which most of the people will do a wrong thing. Go to file and save as. Save as, not save as. In the file type, select CSV, comma separated values with the name as testing4, all uppercase. Save as on the desktop only. File extensions, CSV has to be selected. So CSV UTF-8 has to be selected. So most of you may get confused like I do. So CSV UTF-8 and name should be on the desktop test. My folder, I'm making testing4, all uppercase, give a space 4. That's .csv, automatically it will be taken. So what is my file name? Is the testing4.csv, which consisting all the values. Save them. Save and close. Now open testing, open the folder and see testing.csv is there. Just open for a safety, because I used to get always very important to see whether it is there as per CSV format or not. Properties apply also. Right. So they are coming. So I hope everyone is created like this. I will wait for one more moment. ID, company name, and the job role and pay package and how many are available. And the last one is company URL. These things has to be created. I made it 5. You keep it and number. So there are, if you remember in the last session of TFSD also we done with the macro. I think one of the CSV generator is there. I request you also open once. Those who want to generate, instead of typing anything, you just open another thing, MACROO, macro, enter. I think it is there. So macro, it's a CSV file generator for generating a not macro me, I think macro MAK dynamic CSV data generator. You just type macro dynamic data generator and hit enter and see. Don't think a macro. There is a website. I think click on the first one. Macro. To see. Open it. Right. So this is a one website. I request everyone to try for your data to be generated automatically by selecting any domain. I request everyone to work it out. Macro spelling here and there, otherwise you will be probably in a different website, right? So macro and you will generate all the files, right? So let's move on to the real thing. So where you can find the fields also, you change the fields data types and submit and it will automatically generate a 10, 15, even up to I think 5,000 files also it will generate, right? So we'll see them if you require. Right now, move on to the most important thing at server side. After that, what is the next step we have designed? After data, we have to create second one CSV file ready, and third one is server side. We need to use two things. One is for companies routing, and one is for uploading. If you write for two, one is to view, one is for displaying, one is to upload. Then we will work it out, right? Everyone move to server side and please pay attention to here. So VS Code, I'm hiding all the details from the client and I'm opening only the server. Inside server, we have something called as index.js. Up to now, we never touch index.js, right? So I request everyone to use index.js and very important, go to the import section and we need to import two important packages. One is Mongoose, or ultimately we need to work it out, and the Multer. Can you highlight that package itself? So what is the package we need to install and work it out is Multer. Multer is a very important package. In CSV, it is sorry, in index.js. In index.js, also Yeah, so you need to highlight only two packages. One is Mongoose, and which is already installed, and the very important Multer. So Multer is for what? So is to upload file system. And before that, very important, you need to create a folder directory uploads. If you're not created, you have to create. You need to create a uploads folder in your directory inside your server. Very, very important. After that, the real code. I will quickly move to the uploads routing path. So how to create a routing path, and whoever hits enter, that is a posting or retrieving. So we need to get it. So I will only highlight at that particular point, only see at the screen. So these are the codes which are relevant to uploading a file. So whenever somebody uploaded from the front end, then this is a request sent by the client. Then what we need to do in Multer, we need to check two things. One is CB. CB is called as callback function. It takes a callback function from a file. One is a file, and then we have to work it out. So we need to go to our route. What is our route? Can you highlight? What is our route? Is app dot, and what is the path we are looking for? Slash API, which is for student, which is for upload for student, but we need to write for companies. Very similar. I'm just taking that code, and we will do it for the app. Within that break also you can do it. So just take a look at these, and if possible, take a screenshot of it and do it. After the break, you need to do it, or you need to try for this particular code. So where it is takes the file and it checks into the disk storage, because server storage it has to be stored, and with a callback function called as CB, and then it will store inside our folder by using a save with the extension. This is the work. Where we need to connect this particular file is our student tab. Model should be student. If you scroll up, very, very important, and if you see carefully, there is import section. There you will see we also imported a student, but it is from which folder? Models slash student. But we need to use now models slash companies. That we will do it later. So we'll do it. So this is the work you need to do it. Uploading. This is uploading. So after uploading submitted, what is the next one? It has to be display. So what is the displaying is a getting. So what is the route? Yeah, please check it out, the highlighted portion, which is app dot, and what is the path we are searching, or whoever hit a view companies, or we have a component called as companies. Whenever who hit a companies, automatically they need to use this one. But here they are working with the student, but we need to work with companies. That's it. So the code is very similar, and it will be stored inside our company's structure, and no need of a MongoDB to be created. I mean, you need explicitly, you need not create. Whenever you run this code, automatically it will be stored, and the data will be stored and retrieved, and a return of all the values will be sent back. If you scroll up, upload file also, there you have seen a one more important thing called, an important aspect called as, it stores multiple records. It's not a one. You see carefully, there is a many. I think yesterday sir has teach you MongoDB have a only single record, but then we use a insert one or find one, right? But here we are storing how many records? Can you just recollect how many records we do have? 5. So 5 is not one. That's why we use many. So I request you to understand this flow. So first, upload file is a file, and it stores in the disk storage of server, and it calls a function which will load all the files and made them inserted at a time into the table which is called as companies. That's it. So These two has to be ready. Last but not least, we created, we stored. Can you go to the notepad and see what is left over? So created and displayed. What is the next one? To display, we need to create what? Two routers. I mean, two components to be displayed by using cards. So get back to those client side things, and very, very important. I think I have a two good students with me. One is Deepak and one is called Harshvardhan, who helped me out to work it out properly. They given the same kind of their experience. In that, very, very important point I want to tell you now. So can you move to the client? Just minimize all the server things and move to the client. Client components, we have view students. This is very, very, sorry, upload students. First, upload we will see. Upload is very simple. I think you also see the same kind of a structure where it takes a input type, but it has to be stored and retrieved. Instead of this, there is a one more file. I forgot to tell one important point. Can you move to the server? Last one more important thing, which is very, very important. Server side under index.js, CSV to JSON. I forgot to tell that one because this will import section. Go to the import section. You need to, this will take care, I think, last CSV to JSON. So that CSV to JSON will take care how to convert the Excel sheet which you uploaded to be converted. Right, get back to our components and we will do it with the components upload file, which is uploaded, and then the last one. What is the last one? Display. To display, what is the component we need to create? View students. We need to view companies. What we done? Nothing. You just see their typography, material UI thing. I just display them in a cards with proper what you call spacing, color. You can use n number of colors, and I just rendered. There is in students there are so many things are there, but how many I displayed? Only 3. You just open the output for a browser for a last time, last minute. If you see there is a view students, I just display the name, ID, and ID name, and what your phone number, mobile number. But there are so many, but you can do it the similar way. So I need you to do it again and again. For the same, we have 15 minutes left, but I request you to try with this particular thing before displaying. I will let you know with the testing data of a student, we will upload and display, then it will be better. First, I will pass because my credential has to be worked again. So I'll pass this one and I will add all those credentials. Give me a 1 minute. Right. So I get back to my work. So I'll create once, I mean, I will show you again. If you see carefully, view students, how many students are there, but what is the last one? All are with the 4 zeros and this one is right. So I want to add a 3 records. I will not take much of your time, 5 records mostly, because how many in each row? 4, right? I will add 4 with a new data. So get back to our desktop and I will have already testing 3 with all those values. I'm file save as, go to file, save as, and in the desktop itself on the same testing folder, make it as testing file dot csv. Please, already it is been saved csv, right? Dot csv, right? Now keep the heading same and change the names and num. So one is called as, write Deepak. So first write his ID, his name, his mobile number, and all the details. Also with Harsha and Vaishnavi, I just randomly giving the names. Don't take it as other things, and delete remaining 4. I need only 4. I request you to do it accordingly, but the above that, what we call a unique should be there. ID should be unique because we mentioned that. Remove all those remaining things, or you just delete them. ID, name, mobile number, and something like that. So I just made it for the student. So I want to showcase what is the final outcome after this. Otherwise, we will keep it, change the numbers. Only ID numbers will be affected. Change the ID numbers, no need of deleting anything, but keep it, ID numbers must be unique, and save it. Save, and this file name is testing file, right? So we have added a new field, I mean new file, but with the student details. Don't be confused. These are not company's things, right? Save, close. Testing file. Yeah, okay. Right, close. For the last time, it again, I am very sensitive thing about these things, because if we missed out, we cannot be worked out. So testing file dot csv, yes, perfect. Close, and now go to the our browser. I am uploading this file. So choose upload, choose file, and what is the file? Testing file, upload, and then view data, view students, and see whether we got Deepak or not. So that's all we have done. So if you see carefully, the logic is very simple, but the structure you should follow. So if you fix for a one time, you can do it for 1,000 records, 10,000 records, and your design should be there. I'm just a minimalistic code I have designed. Otherwise, it will go. And the most important thing I forget every time: right click on the HTML file and inspect. I request everyone to follow this particular console. This is very important. Plus and console, whenever you do any kind of actions, those will be reflected here in the console. So console is a one developer tool. I keep on saying, use them properly for your data to be worked or while working with full stack, right? Close this particular console only, right? So with that note, I request what we have done, just recollect. 10 minutes. So now I request everyone to do a one quick reminder of what we have done, and after that only 5 minutes I will give you a node mailer also, which is a mailing thing. It will take another half an hour, 1 hour. So just open the Gmail, or just open my what we called as Chrome. You just open the Chrome and another tab, plus tab, and Gmail. I request everyone to create this two-factor authentication. Don't see my things. So click on your profile. I request everyone to follow this one and click on the manage account. And in that manage account, we have something called as security. And inside security, there is a two-factor authentication. Yeah, click on that one. This will ask you something called as your username and passwords. So you need to do it, then only it will work. So after creating this two-factor authentication successfully, I already done it, so no need of doing it. And get back to previous security again. And just search for third-party keys. In search, just write third-party key generation or third-party keys. Third-party keys, then you will find out a key generation thing, and you need to generate according to your requirement. Yes. So third-party keys, you need to give your details, and then it will generate a not third party. I think third pass keys, third pass keys or pass keys. App passwords. Correct. Type app passwords. Right. So if you write app passwords, then you will generate a one app password for your data, and which will be used for your third. Then only it will generate a 16 or 12 digit number that has to be used in our .env file. So I request everyone to do it. For that, I will write the process, and you need to do this thing in the break time. So again, so steps to create or working with email system. First step, we need to get a two-step verification. We need to get a two-step verification authentication from the mail system. I said anything. It may be KL University, it may be Gmail, I mean Outlook, it can be Gmail or anything. Next one. Second step. After that, you need to use what? App password. App password generation. So app password generation. So I request everyone to use this one also for app password generation in the same Google account. So in Google manage account settings, you just write down in the next line. I think it is better to write separately. So Google manage account settings, you need to find out these two. Next, third step. After that, you will get an app password which should be used in your .env file to work with sending or receiving emails. It requires three variables in .env, one after other. We'll write down. So the first one, all uppercase, very, very important. In .env file, all are uppercase, right? It is our constants. The first one is email underscore host. Next one, email underscore user, email underscore user. Next, email underscore pass. But don't be confused. Pass requires password of app password, not your username password. Gmail, or I mean your account password. Mention app password instead of your personal account mail account password. That's it. So if you install those things, then we can go for an important aspect of working with email systems. So I request everyone to take a look at these steps, and I also given the some task. We will get back with the company's details to be displayed along with that one. So you just we will be back by open a new notepad, write in a bigger. We will back by 3:40 p.m. Take a break and we will get back by 3:40 p.m. Bigger font, Control plus. That's it. So please, and Yes. So I hope everyone is back. If not, take a 2 more minutes. Meanwhile, we will see what are the things we have gone through. And if you see carefully, these last steps for sending an email. So there is a requirement for you to connect with any database, connect with any email server. That may be Outlook, that may be Gmail, that may be Redis, or any kind of a service. You need to have these three constants. One is email, one is the host, that is SMTP. You know, we will write some of the words for that email host. Beside, you just write down SMTP dot mailservice.com. So you can write mailservice.com. Suppose it may be Gmail, it may be example, enter next line, you just write smtp.gmail.com or smtp.outlook.com. Like this example I'm saying, you can replace with that particular thing. Next one is name. You already know something like email username and I mean example at the rate gmail.com, example at the rate kaleuniversity.in, like that. So you can write anything. And the password, I already said, we already noted down that particular word, that it should be from the email. Uh, uh, Not email password, it is a Gmail or any email service, they given the permission. Then you will have an app password. That password has to be there, and it should be like 16 length, but four length of each word. It should be like a 16-digit length, or it is alphanumeric. These are the things we require. Now we will directly jump to the SMTP, how to do it. The most important thing is first steps to work with mail system. The first step in the terms of server, we need to create routes, endpoints. First step, create an endpoint or route or path to connect with front end UI with backend server. Example I'm writing, like last thing we have used /API /API/ we use send mail. Example, we'll see them, send mail, one word. So whenever somebody hit this particular point, then what is the work to be done is to be mentioned in the send mail. Here, then it will collect from next step, creation of port number, or connecting with the port number. Connecting with a port number of email service. This is very, very important. For example, what is the Gmail port number? 587. So how you know Gmail port number? Example, just open the browser and type Gmail port number, then you will get it port number. So let's see, move to the browser and type Gmail port number and hit enter. Then you can see the port numbers can be either 587 or some other numbers, right? So you can use that port number. Very, very important. Next step, very important step is after Gmail setup and everything, we need to create a transporter object. What is transporter object? A transporter is a function which consists to address, from address, subject, message as arguments. So, and port number, very, very important, port number, post details, and credentials. So if you provide all those things, then it will work for right. So port numbers and all, so that it will connect and send them. The most important note. Some of networks will restrict emails from their connection. Example, I will tell you, consider our KL University. Doesn't allow you to send the thing because of our serve capstone or something is there. When we log in, that will automatically stop connecting us from the internet. But we can check whether it is sent or not. We'll see them in action. Let's move on to the practical example. Then we will see in the action. So our browser, our our so-called send mail. Just click on the send mail. Before that, right click on the thing and always use inspect for knowing and select element plus and select console. Right. So these are the things, but let me click on hamburger symbol is there. Just click and inside send mail it is already. Just give me my mail ID, example Murali Mohan 310 at gmail.com. Don't think otherwise, it is one mail, and test is the subject, test is the original message, and send. And click on send. If you see carefully, you will get this output because I also console the output. Let me check my Gmail whether I will get it or not. So I am not sure about my Gmail. We already opened, I think, in a browser, Chrome. I think we have already Gmail open. Otherwise, just click on the Gmail, that Gmail. So if you get it, that is allowing you. Otherwise, sometimes it won't be. So if you get it, you will get the complete details about it. Otherwise, you may not get it because of the note I said. If you connect with the mobile hotspot, it will work. It will come. So how or what is the content it will come? Let me go to the output again. So go to the code. I will just explain one more time and we will finish quickly. In our server side, index.js, we need to go to the import section first because you need to understand what is the important packages. What is the, sorry, what is the package we need to use? Node mailer is the package we need to use it. I think at the end I mentioned. It is not there. It is there. Yes. Node mailer has to be there. Now search for the route. As I said, it is a post route. App.post, just c/API send mail because I'm using for sending an email. Don't think, again, I'm keeping in mind, always remember your page name and route name slash name. If you keep it same, then only work because of, I said, instead of reducer, you have to follow this mode. No need of writing reducer, right? So here, if you see carefully, what is the things I said in theory, it is in a practical. But See carefully what is the sending. It is saying first ID, I mean port numbers, all those directories which are taken from environment variable. It is not taken directly. You should not mention here. If you kept here, suppose consider Deepak has given to me, then I can do a nonsense. Suppose if you kept in environment variable, and if you access also, you don't, your environment variables are different from mine. So that way you can stop them not to use, and see carefully what is the message it should consisting of, like what I mentioned, KL placement office. From that you are getting that mail. So whoever get the mail, their email should consisting KL placement office, and whatever we send, what is the message we send, can you see that test and test, that will be. So whether it is working or not, how you know that? Here you just highlight the console. If it is appearing here, then it is working. If it is not appearing here, that means it is not working well. Similar way, very similar. Now we will move to the OTP generation. Can you go to the OTP? There is a logic here. OTP generation. Here the most important OTP generation thing. 99% same as above. OTP generation similar to above code, similar to above steps. Similar to above steps. Next step, use OTP generator package. Use OTP hyphen generator package, which will automatically OTP hyphen generator package, which will automatically generates a OTP like a 6-digit. Generally, it is by default it is a 6-digit OTP. No need of writing random int. I think we have tried in our PFSD with something like random gen, and we pass with that one. Nothing is required. We can use it like OTP generator, which will generate a number. Next thing, we need to store what is the implementation we have done in this project. Is this is very important. We need to store the OTP and email ID in our collection until unless first condition, expiry time, OTP generator expiry time. We can include that one also. Generally, OTP numbers doesn't have, you example, you work with SBA, it do have an expiry time of 5 minutes or 10 minutes. After that, you need to resend another. So it do have a expiry time. That expiry time also we can mention in OTP generator, that we will see. So expiry time. Second one, if OTP is matched with provided OTP by the user. So this record in database will be available until unless two things. If it is available, then it is matched, deletes automatically from the record. So that kind of a logic you should write. This is very easy and it is built in. OTP generator is itself having all the functionality. No need of writing your own logic. So that we have to try. So let's see working, and after that we will execute them. So go to the browser and click on hamburger symbol and send OTP. I think OTP, right? And example, same thing. Suppose Murali Mohan Pretend at gmail.com, and if you see carefully, you get OTP has sent to successfully. If your net is working and if your Wi-Fi is given the permission, then you will get it. Otherwise, you won't get it. Right? So, but it is verified to the console.log. If it is available, that means it is received somewhere. So after, if you enter verify OTP, whatever you get, then you will enter here, then it will work fine. So these are the important requirements for email authentication and verification. For this code, I will explain within a 10 to 15 minutes. After that, we will move to the next concept of JWT within a time period of 4:30. Because of other constraints, we have to close our session by 4:30. And for that, we will have a few more minutes left. So what is the code? I will try to explain first, then we will see the action. So first, go to our API slash send mail is already done. I think API slash OTP. So OTP is having the same thing. If you see carefully the logic, it is all done because of it should be stored in the table or collection. Let's see one more time for a last time. Open my MongoDB Atlas also. Just open browser, and I have my, I think MongoDB, which is already open. Right. If you see my collection name, you see there is a one of the collection called as send OTP user OTP. It's a one kind of a table which will store all the OTPs, but you will not find anything. Why? Because they are already expired. So these are the very important topics you need to understand. And let's see what is the code is all about. I will give a pass for a 5 to 10 minutes for this one because it's very new concept. And one of my student or our student has done so much work along with me, or he done extra work also, and he come up with this idea. Just I will freeze for a 1 minute and let's see.